Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gen Sense. How are you? Yeah, surprise. You thought this channel was dead. Yeah, you thought I wasn't making any more extra channel videos, and yet here I am. You thought it was a zombie channel, a corpse channel. Truth be told, I just kind of neglected it for a while. Yeah, I kind of got busy with the other channel and other things going on, but it's not dead. It has risen. And we're just gonna talk about some fragrances and stuff, I think. We're gonna talk about this one today, Brioni Eau de Parfum Essentiel. Now, Brioni Eau de Parfum, that one I think is fantastic. Smells a bit similar to Aqua Fahrenheit. Good quality for a pretty good price from discounters. The Eau de Parfum Intense though, fire. I love the Eau de Parfum Intense. The opening of that smells killer. But it doesn't really matter how those smell, because today we're talking about Essentiel right here. Now you notice, taking a look at this, that it is in a green bottle, green box. Green is in right now. It's not as popular like when oud fragrances were first taken off and everybody had to have oud, or blue fragrances when everybody had to have a blue fragrance, but we're seeing more and more green fragrances come out, some green scents. So, you know, it's kind of on that upslope. Coach Green came out. We've got Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Green Stravaganza announced, which holy crap, could that name be any longer? Can't wait for them to come out with Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Green Stravaganza Absolute Intenso. So yeah, green stuff is in. As usual, I'll have this linked down in the description in case you want to check it out. As of when I'm filming this, the price point for this fragrance is around 85 bucks. Depending on where you find it, might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, but yeah, it's not really a super affordable designer fragrance, you could say. So we're gonna have to suss out if it's worth that price point, which is still actually a lot less than what things go for at retail. I also want to let you guys know about a new code, which is GS25. It's good for buy one, get one free. Or no, it's not. That'd be pretty sick. Buy one, get one 25% off at fragflex.com. You can scale that up as well, so be aware of that code amongst all the other codes that exist. You know, guys, let's kick this off the way we always do when we're talking fragrance, when we're talking about one particular fragrance. Let's take a look at this presentation real quick. So here we got the box. You have the name of the fragrance, name of the house, and the size and concentration all right there on the front. Does look, you know, fairly bare bones when you compare it to some other fragrance houses' presentations, but I think it still looks pretty classy. Up top, you've got the B, and then on the back, just a little info on the fragrance itself, plant-derived alcohol, vegan formula, etc. Then on the bottom, they really pack a lot in. So you got your badge code, you have your barcode, your ingredients, just like basically everything under the sun right there. And the batch code is C0B23. And here we have the bottle. And I do like these bottles. I think they look pretty good. So it's got a nice gradient there, a little bit darker up top, lighter at the bottom. You have the Brioni tab that goes across the front of the bottle. Nothing on the back. On the bottom, you have your badge code, all your info right there. And then your cap is magnetic. Wow. Yep, I know. I'm still a sucker for it. You also have a little B on top of the atomizer as well for the logo, once again. You know how it goes. Let's go ahead and share a couple sprays here. Here we go. Atomizer's not too bad. It could be a little better, I guess. It could be pressurized or something, but it's still really smooth, gets the job done. All right, let's talk shop here. Let's talk Fragrance. How does Brioni Essentiel smell? Well, in case it was not obvious, this is, sit down for this one, a green smelling fragrance. Yeah, I know. When you look at the note breakdown for this, it's not hyper complex or anything, but at least they give you more than one note for the top and more than one for the mid and one for the base. Of course, that's a pet peeve of mine, but still not hyper complex. But one thing will definitely jump out at you when you look at the note breakdown, and that is in the top, it has tomato as one of the notes. More specifically, I would say tomato leaf. And that's actually a note that I really like, that barely ever gets used. You almost never see it in fragrances. And so when it does pop up, it's something that just immediately grabs your attention because I mean, tomato. right? Especially when you see it listed on a website or something and it just says tomato. It doesn't say tomato leaf, because then at that point, especially if you're not really like into fragrances, you're probably just thinking, what the, why would I want to smell like ketchup or spaghetti sauce, you know? So yeah, the tomato leaf definitely jumps out, grabs your attention. The other stuff in there is pretty common, makes sense. Bergamot, cardamom. Then you have in the mid patchouli and tonka. So again, that's, you know, that's pretty standard there. And then sandalwood, frankincense, and ambergris in the base. So that's the entirety of the note breakdown there. So like I said, you look at that, the tomato's definitely jumping out. So when you first spray this guy on your skin, like I said, it's quite green. It's very zingy, very zingy. It has this almost like aromatic tickle to your nose hairs when you smell it. Initially, it has a nice sweetness from the bergamot, kind of like a, you know, very light candied sweetness to it that pretty quickly fades away. And then you get more of that almost bracing, slightly herbal kind of feel from the tomato leaf that comes in and melds together with the bergamot, kind of scrubs away that sweetness. And that's not to say that it becomes devoid of any kind of sweetness off the top. It still does have some. It's just that tomato leaf kind of quickly comes in and makes itself known. The cardamom here is going to be more of a surprise green cardamom instead of that, you know, very warm, kind of date night, sexy, sweet, spicy cardamom that you find in some notes, in some fragrances. This one keeps it more green and kind of clean, really. And as this one dries down, the way the patchouli presents itself is as an earthiness, kind of a, again, clean earthiness. And I know that sounds like it doesn't make sense, because how can something be earthy and smell like it has soil or dirt or, you know, minerality to it and be clean? Like, it seems like it makes no sense. But I guess, yeah, the best way to put it would be that it has kind of that flintiness, like a flinty soil, where when you smell it, again, it has like this high-pitched kind of like static kind of smell on your nose. So when you catch a whiff, you get that almost like fuzziness that comes through. And that comes on more and more, kind of clean mineral earthiness from the patchouli, and then woodiness comes in as well. So that sweetness at that point, once you head into the mid and head into the dry down as well, that sweetness is gone. And you have instead an aromatic fragrance that is, again, very green, but woody and clean, earthy, and mineral. Did I really just say that? And mineral. So this one is interesting to me. It's got a lot of things going for it that I like. And then at the same time, I would say for some people, it's not gonna have like a big wow factor. So the opening certainly is the type of opening that for some people is just gonna be, whoa, you know, attention grabbing right away. Nice mix of different things going on, bit of sweetness in there, aromatic tinge, green, sparkling, zingy, tart, all that stuff going on. While at the same time not leaning youthful, not being like overly sweet, not being bubble gummy or anything like that. So it has a nice classiness to it, a nice little touch of maturity to it. You know, it'd be a really solid office fragrance, a good work fragrance, very easy to pull off, people pleasing, while at the same time not really bashing anybody over the head. Not the type of fragrance where people are gonna swarm you and be like, what are you wearing? But the type of fragrance that you can wear with confidence that people are gonna dig. They may not say anything about it, you know, it's not that type of fragrance, but it's that type of scent that's just an easy grab and go kind of scent for the office, for work, for casual situations. It comes across like that, in the opening especially. And as it dries down, it smells good also. It's got a nice woodiness to it. It maintains some interesting aspects from the open, and there's, you know, some slight little dips and daps of sweetness in there. Not too much, again, it's pretty light. I just think that for a lot of people, this one would come across as being that type of scent where a lot of people like it, but not a whole lot of people love it. Maybe that doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's that type of scent profile where it's very competently done, and it has some interesting aspects in there, especially for someone looking for a green scent. It's a little bit classier while still having, like I said, good wearability, versatility, but it doesn't maybe have that one thing that just like hooks your brain and keeps you coming back. I think that would be the one part of this fragrance that maybe holds it back. And that's kind of, you know, difficult to say anyway, because you're talking about like an X factor at that point, right? Where you smell some fragrances and you just think to yourself, oh, this one's got it. This one got the X factor. And it's like, well, what is that? I don't know. It's just sometimes you smell something and there's immediately something in there where you go, oh, that's addictive. This one doesn't have that for me. I like it from the opening into the dry down. It's just, that's what I feel, you know, maybe for a lot of people, if they're looking for just like that stone cold banger, that maybe this wouldn't be it. But if you're looking for a pretty easy wearing jack of all trades, classy office scent with a green tinge to it, a pretty heavy green tinge to it, that this would absolutely be worth checking out. As far as seasonality, for me, this is more spring, fall, kind of like neutral weather. You could pull it off in summer or winter if you wanted, just dial sprays up or down, and leans more daytime than nighttime for me. And as far as performance goes for me, this is pretty much what I would consider an average fragrance, you know? I know that just sounds very bland, but I long ago stopped trying to like get out a stopwatch and be like, okay, boop, I sprayed the fragrance on, and try to time it down to the hour and stuff, because I feel like that's kind of disingenuous, because it really depends where I'm going, what I'm doing, how much I sprayed on, did I spray it on my clothes, did I not, et cetera, et cetera. You know, there's too many factors in there. So, you know, it's one of those scents that I don't have complaints, but I also am not gonna say that it's a great performer. It's average. So there we go, Brioni Essentiel. It's gonna appeal more to guys middle-aged and older. Younger guys probably not gonna go for that unless they just really enjoy green fragrances. It doesn't have too much sweetness, a little bit off the top, a little bit as it dries down. Outside of that, mainly what you're looking at here is something that's gonna come across aromatic with a lot of like a fuzziness to it when it hits your nose, that kind of staticky scent profile. Some people would say maybe zingy. A lot of people are gonna interpret that different ways, but it does definitely have that effect when you smell it. And then as it dries, you know, a little bit of spice in there. You've got woods that come out quite prominently, kind of a minerally earthiness as well. And that's just pretty much what you're in for here. In my personal hierarchy of fragrances in this line, of the ones that I've reviewed, I haven't reviewed all of them, but I would put this underneath the Eau de Parfum and underneath the Eau de Parfum Intense. Not that I think this is a bad fragrance, it's just to my own personal taste. I like those ones more, but they are completely different scents. So there we go, Essentiel. If you like green stuff, check it out. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you again later with another video. See you later.